everyone. I'm Yvonne, a children's librarian here at the Manchester City Library, and I want to welcome you all to our fall STEAM-powered stories. These story times are aimed at grades 3 to 5 and have a science, technology, engineering, art, or math component. Our story portions and our kits are actually going to be given out exclusively in person at the library. So please visit our website and register for those if you are nearby and are able to join us. But I also thought that we could continue posting some of our crafts and activities here so that we can share them with as many people as possible. So that being said, I'd really like to get into this week's STEAM-powered story. Hello everyone, and welcome back to this week's STEAM-powered stories, where we are going to be talking about tornadoes. I do want to remind everyone that we are having STEAM-powered stories in person at the Manchester City Library every other Tuesday at 4 p.m., which is right before this video comes out. So if you do want to come in person and listen to the stories and do the activities together, then please register for a spot for that Tuesday. The next one is going to be on the 12th of October. So pre-register for that, and then we can do this together. But also, I am really glad that you decided to join us digitally for our activities and crafts this week. Okay, first off, for our activity, let's gather our supplies. For this week, we are making a tornado in a bottle. So what we're going to do first is go ahead and take your bottle or clear container, and we're going to fill it up with water till there's just about like an inch left at the top. So I'm going to go and grab my water to fill this up. If you want to do that, we can meet back here. Okay, I hope everyone got their water in their jar. Here is mine. And you do want to do this in a place that if there is spills, it's going to be easy to clean up. I have got my handy dandy tablecloth here over my space, just in case the water does get everywhere. But once we have our jar and our water, we're going to take our soap, and you're going to want to have about 1 teaspoon. So this is a teaspoon. The good thing about this is you don't have to be exact. So if you don't have a teaspoon, you can use a normal spoon, or you can just kind of squirt some into the bottle until you think it looks about right. Okay, gotta get that in the jar. Then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna put the cap on it, make sure it's on nice and straight and tight, because like I said, we don't want water everywhere. And then we're just going to shake this up, some bubbles going on. If there are too many bubbles, you can actually scoop some out of the top, or if you put another teaspoon of vinegar into your container, that's going to help settle the bubbles down, and so we can see our tornadoes better. But now we've got our jars, and what we're going to do is we're going to stir them up. You can sort of do a round rolling motion to get our tornadoes going. So spinning tornadoes need what is called centrifugal force to go in circles rather than in a straight line. Because water, if you were to hold it in your hands and just spin, it would actually fly outwards. So definitely don't try that inside, maybe outside if you want to. But in our jar, the water spins because the walls keep the water from going straight out. And so it curves instead of continuing forward. Now in a real tornado, it's other air currents that create this the centrifugal force for the spin. And scientists are not 100% sure how this happens. One really popular theory was that higher and lower temperatures would collide and create the spin, but that is not always the case for tornadoes. So they think that possibly different air speeds will also cause this spinning to happen, and to keep that motion circular rather than dispersing in straight lines. So even though scientists don't know exactly how tornadoes work, it's really exciting that there is more to learn about these really cool and kind of sometimes scary and destructive storms. So if you are interested, look into it, follow along, and maybe one day you'll figure out yourself why tornadoes do what they do. Okay, so I'm going to put away our activity, and then we will get our craft going. For the craft portion of our tornado steam-powered story, I have our craft kit. Now, if you do come in person to our steam-powered stories, you will get a craft kit. If you are not able to and you are watching me now online instead, there may be some craft kits in the entryway of the children's department at the Manchester City Library, but those are just going to be the leftovers. And when they are gone, they are going to be gone. So it is first come, first serve in that aspect. But if you do pick it up, you will find that there is a little thing of paint. We're going to have some instructions just in case you want to do this again later. There are a couple of pieces of cardstock, a couple of tiny pieces of cardstock, and some bubble wrap. Because what we are doing is a resist bubble wrap painting for our tornadoes. Okay, so what we're going to do, I have one I've already used, don't want to get one dirty if I don't have to. And so from home, you are going to want somewhere to put your paint. I've got this paper plate, other drawing utensils if you would like, and some scissors, as well as making sure that your workspace is covered and in something that is easy to wipe off or that you don't mind getting dirty. So what we're going to do, I'm going to get this started by putting some of the paint on my paper plate. And what I'm going to do is use one of these small scraps is to actually smooth out the paint so that it's going to be easier for my bubble wrap to pick up that paint. What I'm going to do here for the resist part of this bubble wrap painting is I'm actually going to draw a design on one of the pieces of paper. In this case, I'm going to draw a tornado, and then I'm going to use that tornado and the outline of it to do my resist painting, and I will show you how that works. Okay, so here I have my tornado and sort of the stencil for the tornado. And like I said, this is what we're going to use for our resist. Now, a resist is basically something that stops color or paint or pigment from touching a surface. You guys may be familiar with this from like dyeing eggs. It also can be used for fabric or paintings or really anything that you stop pigment from reaching a surface. So what I'm going to do for mine, and remember this is just me, you guys do however you want to do, is I'm going to lay the outline of my tornado over the paper that I'm going to paint on. And then I'm going to use just the corner of my bubble wrap, and I'm going to use that as kind of a brush to paint in the swirly lines of the tornado right over my stencil. So now we see this is what I painted with the stencil, and then we remove that. And we can see all along the edges where it has been resisted. Okay, but I'm not done because I still want to use my bubble wrap more as a painting tool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my picture, and I'm going to take the tornado I cut out, and I'm going to place it on top of the tornado that I painted with the stencil portion. And then I'm going to take my bubble wrap and all of our paint that I smoothed with our handy dandy little piece of cardstock. I'm now going to lay this in. Now I'm going to lay it on top of my painting. Alright, so here we go. We're going to peel back the bubble wrap, and then we're going to peel off the tornado. And here we go. This is my bubble wrap resist tornado. Of course, you can add whatever you'd like to it. Like I might want a little bit more storm at the very top. And if I have like other coloring materials, I might add like houses or trees, just whatever you want. And again, even if you don't actually want to do a tornado, using bubble wrap to paint and using other things as a resist is just fun in of itself. So I hope that you guys enjoy this kind of messy but very fun craft activity. All right, everyone, thank you so much for joining me for this week's Steam Powered Story Online Edition. I hope that you guys enjoyed and were able to make some fun things and learn just a little bit about tornadoes and how they are formed. I again want to remind you guys that if you want to come in and listen to the stories as well as do the activities together, please remember to sign up through the Manchester City Library website. We are going to continue doing that every other Tuesday, at least through the fall. But for those of you who were not able to come to this week's, I am going to share with you the book that we read, as well as some other suggestions, just in case you want to learn a little bit more about tornadoes. Okay, guys, have a great couple weeks, and I will see you then. Bye!